Hello everybody, Mr. Stan913 here. Today I'm going to show you how to remove this old latch from this old door that we have in our house. As I talked about in previous video, we have a very old house, and through our house we have a lot of old doors. And this latch mechanism is no longer working. As you see, when I turn the doorknob, it's not working. So I think I know what the problem is, but to find it, I have to remove this whole latch mechanism. And this is an old Sergeant Mortise latch that I'm going to remove. But first I have to remove this doorknob. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. Okay, so you can see on the doorknob there's a little screw here. So what I want to do is loosen this screw, and then the doorknob I just screw off, and then I can remove the other side of the doorknob, just pulling it out. So right now I'm going to remove this screw, and then I'm going to screw this off, and I'll show you how easy this comes off. So as you see, I loosened the screw. So now I'm just going to slowly just loosen the doorknob, and the doorknob will just slowly come off. The other side won't come off because it's a long metal rod in here. And this screw actually, when you screw this back in, this screw will actually attach to this metal rod so that it tightens the doorknob so it won't loosen. So I'm going to slowly take this off. And it's slowly coming. And we have a lot of these glass doorknobs to our house. Really nice. Makes the door look nice. So there you go. The doorknob is off. There's your little screw I was talking about earlier. So then, put this down here. All I have to do is pull the doorknob out on the other end. And this comes out. So now, the next thing I need to do is remove these two screws and remove the whole latch mechanism out. I'll do that next. Okay, so I removed the two screws that are holding the latch into the door. And I kind of pried with my screwdriver right here and on the bottom just to get it a little loose. And then I can just pull it out here. And you see, this is the latch mechanism. On the other side here, if I can turn it, you have a screw. So now what I'm going to do is go down to my workbench, and I'm going to remove this screw, and we're going to see what's going on with the latch inside. So let's go and check that out. So I have our screw off, so I'm going to remove it right here. And I'll take the top piece off, and we'll see what's inside. And just as I thought, there's a spring that controls the latch here. That broke, and this spring goes right here and hooks onto here. And when you turn your doorknob by this mechanism, it moves the latch in and out. The spring will keep it in place, but you want the doorknob, when you turn it, to bring it in. So what I need to do is I need to get a new spring, which I'll probably have to go up to the hardware store up the street from my house and pick it up. And this is the size spring I need. I've done this on another door, and I purchased a spring up the street at my local hardware store, but it was a little tight, so I might have to loosen the spring, the new spring, when I bring it back home. And you'll see when I hold the spring up to the camera where I kind of pulled it out a little bit, so it's not as tight, because one time I did one, it was so tight it was breaking the mechanisms off, so I made it a little looser. But really cool. This is your lock mechanism here, but of course we don't use that. This is for a closed closet door. So let me run up to my local hardware store, and I'll be back shortly to put this new spring in. Okay, I'm back from the hardware store, and I picked up a new spring. This spring was a little tight, so I had to stretch it out a little bit. You can see on the end here, I stretched it out on the end so that it'll fit in the mechanism here and here. So what I have to do is loop it on here and put the other loop on there, and it should be in place. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, you can see I have the spring in place. I have it looped on there, and I cleaned out the mechanism a little bit. I'm going to place a little bit of oil in some of the areas here, maybe, just to give it a little lubrication. But there it is, and I'll put the plate back on, and then we'll put it back on the door and see if it works. Okay, you see I have it back in place, and we have a spring action. So now all I have to do is put the 2 screws back in, and I'll put the doorknob back on, tighten it, and we'll see if it works. Okay, I got the doorknob back on. I screwed it back on. I actually put the little screw in and tightened it. I put the screws back into the latch, and let's give it a try. Look at that. Spring action. Let's try and close the door and see if it locks in place. There it goes. Turn it, and the door unlocks. Perfect. Pretty easy project to do for an antique lock mechanism. And I hope you enjoyed this. If this is your first time watching, welcome. And please don't forget to subscribe. If you want to receive future notifications of posts, hit the bell. And if you like the video, please, come on, give us a thumbs up. It lets us know what you like. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.